And then I'm going to read our mission statement. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and allow for open dialogue. Just going to make sure that everyone is muted before I continue. Sounds like some people, unfortunately, are not. Attendance today at the Helping Parents Heal meeting is voluntary.
Oh. I just muted you, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry.
Hey, no worries. Thank you for muting everyone. Attendance today at the Helping Parents Heal meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. However, these Zoom meetings are very healing to parents all over the world, and they are posted on YouTube so that the affiliate members who are not available and not in our time zone can also watch. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. And with that said, I'm going to pass it over to Lisa, who will introduce Britta Nicole for you.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Medium Britta Nicole, located in London, England, is a talented, highly respected, and certified evidential medium, psychic, and animal communicator. Originally from California, Britta connects with clients worldwide. Britta's life path is not about changing anyone's belief system. She is merely a facilitator to connect you to your loved ones on the other side. Britta has been supporting Helping Parents Heal since 2018 and currently resides in London. And we will put her website, which is mediumbritta.com, in the chat. And I personally would like to tell you that Britta is one of my very dear friends. And I'm excited to be able to co-host with her today, as Irene is working with her sister Judy in the Xiaomi healing. And Britta, thank you on behalf of me, not as a medium, but as a mama, my mama heart, for being here for all of us. And we're all very lucky today. So thank you.
Thank you both, Elizabeth and Lisa. And it's always a joy when I get Lisa to come and host and co-host my sessions, because she's wonderful energy, and I've enjoyed the journey that we've walked alongside each other in our mediumship and understanding of the spirit world. So I send my love out to all of you. I'm excited to be here today. I already can feel the energy with the children and the excitement building. And I just want us to take a moment and just close our eyes, and we're just going to set that intention of connecting to your loved ones. And we're just going to take one big breath together. Wonderful. And so what I want to share with you is, as I'm connecting, if there's anything that you can take, Elizabeth knows the process, as Lisa does too, and sharing it in the chat box. But if there's anything that comes that you can't place, oftentimes, if it's a sign, it comes the next couple days. I get so many pieces of information sometimes in readings, and I'll get emails and follow-ups that'll say, oh my gosh, this just happened 2 days later. So just keep that in your heart space. And so as I step into the power, I have a gentleman here, and he is just filled with adventure. The one thing he shows me is I feel very much that he would have either smoked or vaped, and he would have tried to quit a couple different times. He keeps showing me, and he just kind of lived on the edge a bit. Someone who was very independent, you would know your son to be independent throughout his life. He also shows me, though, that he would have liked the outdoors. He would have liked nature. I feel very much that at some point he would have been in what feels to me more like a canoe is what he's showing me right now. And he just has such a zest for life, and he just lived on the edge. So there's just something. Oh, and he shows me a dog right now. I see him petting the dog's head. It's got a mixture of some of brown on the dog's head. So I'm going to stop there and see if anybody understands this information.
Okay, so we have Amy Sanders saying Brandon. Let's see, Beth Ann is saying my son was a kayaker. Sue Inglet is saying so far so good. Tanya is saying this could be my Gavin. So, and then Karen is saying this could be Brandon. So,
And
so
can all of you understand the thought that he wanted to stop the smoking or vaping, or he would try? There was kind of this back and forth a bit, because that seems to be something a bit more unique and significant. Does that still fit with all the moms?
Well, Sarah is saying my son vaped and kayaked with his dad. He loved his dog. Okay, that's let's see. So Beth Ann is saying yes, he tried several times to quit.
And I'm also getting a C initial tied to his name or the dog. There's something with a C that feels very much that it's tied potentially to the first name. Does anybody understand that?
Okay, so Sarah is saying my son Cass, she has been taking everything. He was 17 and passed unexpectedly.
Yeah.
He's found tons of vapes in his room.
We also have Michelle, who has a C.
Yeah,
Her
Kate.
son Cade.
Okay. And so your son makes me feel like in the past week, it almost feels like you would have been running around, but you had to stop for a moment and take a look at the back side of your car. And I can't tell if you're looking at the wheel or if you were looking at a spot above the wheel on the actual body of the car. Can either one of you still take that? He shows me. And I feel like you were running around, like busy in errands that day.
So Amy is saying I just had work done on her bumper. So, and then Sarah's saying he hit a parked car the night before he passed.
And Amy, you understand also the C initial too?
Amy, do you understand that? Let me think. Is she writing? Oh, she's saying Chelsea. Oh, sister. So she's saying that this is a girl. Okay.
I'm feeling very drawn to Cass right now. That was can Cass's mom
Sure
be unmuted? And Mom, you would understand just this sense of it. I'm sorry.
That would be Sarah, I believe.
Yeah, Sarah.
I'm trying to find Sarah. Can you unmute Sarah?
Did you find her?
Got her right here.
Okay, great.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, hi Sarah. Hi. And so you would understand your son is just really so adventurous, to the point where there was just no fear, just living life and enjoying it, and sense of independence from earlier in his life. Nobody could really tell him anything, and he would have just been such a strong leader as he continued through life. You just understand all of that. And you also understand him having a dog around him or liking this dog, because I keep seeing his hand on the dog's head. And he sends so much incredible love. And I feel very much that you yourself like to get out in nature for walking. I'm not necessarily seeing the hiking, but I'm seeing the walking. And he wants you to know that he's just so present and around you, and literally shows me himself taking his hands and putting them into your hands. And I just feel that you would know that you get sensations in your hands from walking and other times. Yeah. And so he's just here, so present around you. And he says, Mom, you just have to know I'm really with you. I'm with you every day. And all these simple moments of us walking together, I'm walking with you. I'm really walking with you. And it feels like you're a bit routine in your walking because he says, Mom, I want you to pick another path. I want you to pick something else so we can go look at it together. and he's funny about that because you would also know, as much as he lived on the side with his demeanor and adventure, he was also quite picky. You would remember your son as someone who really had thought and knew what he wanted in that sense. So take a look tomorrow or the next day and walking a different path. And he shows me that there's actually quite a large bird that you're going to see in the next couple days above you as you walk on this different path in your walk. I feel that you do see birds around you. He brings me to birds that are red, very much in color, and you understand the red birds, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you're just shaking your head yes on everything, so that's really great. But know that there's going to be a much larger bird. Like I'm seeing more of like a bird of prey, like a hawk or something that you're going to see in the next couple days. I don't feel it's already happened. It's like him saying, like, Mom, this is my gift to show you I'm still here walking alongside you as you still feel him in your hands. And you would just know, that he just such a zest for life. Your son was just such a zest and really loved his family. And I just want to go like this, and I just want to pull his whole family into the biggest bear hug that you would remember as a family. I feel like you guys would almost do like a huddle. You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. He wants to talk about last week with the water. He makes me feel like you tend to drink a lot of water I don't know if it's water bottles or cups, but you tend to leave them around. Like it feels like you take a few sips and then you go and get the next cup or you forget about it. Do you understand this with the?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's just laughing about it because, again, he's with you. He's in your home and he's just so incredibly present. And he says, Mom, it's so great that you're drinking all the water, but he's like, you're making more dishes for yourself. So again, it feels like it's more cups, and he's just wanting to just bring up your vibration. And he's so proud of you. He says, Mom, I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And he says that you tend to buy books, but you don't always read them. Like you get excited and you'll buy the book, but you're not actually reading the book. You would understand this, correct? Yeah. And he says, Mom, you hold all the answers. You hold all the answers. You don't need to buy all the books. You hold all the answers. And so obviously you can make any decision you want and keep buying those books, but he sees them getting stacked up, and he says, they're all from within, Mom, and you really do hear me. You really do hear me. And I want to go to the book, Brown Bear, What Do You See? And I can't even think of the next line, but there's this children's book with the bear and the food and the different things. And I just feel like if you can't resonate it with this moment, going back to that memory, you would know. Do you understand this Brown Bear, What Do You See book? Was a children's book he's bringing me to. That feels like a fond memory of when he was younger. And just so busy. You would know him as just being so busy as a kid all around. Just let her know she's got to look out for this large bird. It's really coming. So I'm going to stop there and hand his heart back to you. So thank you so much, Sarah, for working with me.
Thank you.
Oops, I'm sorry. I muted her. I didn't mean to, though. I was actually just trying to get oh.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, I was going to say the thing with the hawk, it has happened already. I did go a different way than my normal route, and it was actually in front of his junior high school. And I was walking, there were some telephone lines that were low hanging, and a hawk came from the sky and the left and literally landed on the lowest line to me right above my head. And I was just so in awe that I took out my phone and I have video of the hawk just standing there. And the lines were so low that it was probably only 3 feet above me. And it just stayed there, which is so unusual for a bird of prey to, he could have landed anywhere else, and like in that moment I felt like I knew that was Cass, and I do ask him to send me signs when I go for my walks. So everything that you said about like the regular walks and that, I mean, it's the best thing that I do for my grief. I feel like that's when I can connect with him, and he sends me signs, and he sent me so many. And I don't want to take any more time, but that is so spot on with the hawk thing. And I hope he sends me more, hawks. I'll keep on the lookout. There's, anyway,
That's
there's
wonderful.
been other hawks too, on my walks. So, but that one was very, just one of those moments that it's just undeniable.
That's
Thank you.
wonderful. That's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
And, you bring up a really great point. Like I mentioned earlier, it's that sense of time. And for a medium, it can be so hard to understand the sense of time. Usually I see like it's happened and it hasn't happened. So for you to validate exactly as he explained it with going on a different path and it wasn't your typical routine, that is absolutely your son's energy stepping forward. And for those of you that may or may not know, when you typically get signs of animals and they stop and they're looking at you, it's your child, it's your loved one in spirit who is pushing that energy towards you for that exact reason as you described, for taking that moment. You've had time to take your pictures. You knew it was something very unique. So I just love that. So thank you very much for working with me. And so as I step into this space, I have this woman with me, and I very much feel this is age progression, but she's bringing me back to her early years with a hula hoop. And I just see her hula hooping, and I just see her moving around and hula hooping, and I see her hair in a ponytail, and she was just a spunky young girl. And I feel that she just grew into such a beautiful, bubbly young lady. She also gives me the impression that quite possibly I might have mom and dad both here at the same time right now on Zoom, or dad's somewhere in the space of the home, but there's a feeling of that. But I just know that the hula hoop would be significant, and you would even have pictures. You would have the old, pictures that we would have from Kodak somewhere in the house. It almost feels like it might even be on the fridge to me. And so this hula hoop is so specific. I really want to stop there and see if there's anybody that can take the hula hoop piece. It's not every day anyone's hula hooping.
So far, nothing from anyone about
Okay.
hoops, but
Okay, perfect. So she gives me this feeling that there was, again, this quintessential in her childhood. There was the roller skating. She loved to roller skate, not rollerblade. I feel very much like it's roller skates to me. And I also feel that as she grew older, she feels very businesslike to me. Like I feel like she was working hard, quite possibly even independently. I'm not quite sure exactly what she means by that. I don't necessarily feel like she had her own business, but she might have had a lot of autonomy in the work that she did. Can anybody understand this?
So it says, Sandra says that her Pam had a hula hoop, and she roller skated, hula hooped, and was a pilot.
Wonderful. Okay, so there's a lot of independence there with controlling the plane. And so Pam, you would just understand, I'm sorry, you said mom's name was Pam?
Her mother's name is Sandra, and
Sandra, sorry.
Pam also ran a B&B, a bed and breakfast. So,
Wonderful. So I believe I'm connected with her. If you can bring her and unmute her.
let's see, Lisa,
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know where she just went. Sandra, looking for Sandra. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it right here.
Okay, wonderful.
Hi, Sandra. Wonderful. Thank you for working with me. And just as they were saying your name, I wanted to launch into the song with Grease and the musical. And I just feel like your daughter would have had, not necessarily been a huge fan of musicals, but would have had a love for music around her. And music would have been important to her, and how she, de-stressed is the feeling that she gives me. Like you would just know that she had her playlists, her songs, and music was important in that sense. Correct, Sandra?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And she's very particular. Like I feel you would just remember, and even as she's come through in sessions, I feel that there's been just this sense of being very particular in how she shares her information and where she goes to make those connections. And she says, Mom, I'm so spot on all the time with the signs. I'm so spot on. And she brings me to a book, and I see this book open right now, and I actually see what feels like a bookmark in it, but it actually feels open to me. So so the feeling she gives me is it's either an older book or it's a hardback book that would be a bit bigger, but opened. Do you understand this around you right now in the house that she's taken me to?
Book that's open.
It almost feels like a cookbook, you know, like one of those bigger ones where you can have something in the center.
Yeah, she did have a big cookbook. I gave it to her and she would put her recipes in it.
Wonderful. But you have it now, you would understand.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And it just feels like recently you had it open too, because that's the feeling she was taking me to in the home. And she wants you to know that she's just present and she sees things and she's all around. And she makes me feel like where you live feels like there's more nature around. Like I almost feel like there might be little tiny turtles sometimes. Do you understand these little turtles that she's showing me?
I was looking for, unfortunately, a turtle had got run over on the road, and she loved turtles, and she had a little turtle necklace, and she went to Costa Rica and swam with the turtles. But I was looking for this turtle because it had died on the road, and I had put it in the bush, and I was going to bring its shell home today, and I couldn't find it.
Okay. So that's amazing. I mean, that's so specific and being so present, and she was around you, like she's with you and helping you. And sorry to hear that it was the shell of the turtle, but again, this is amazing how she brings me exactly to something that you just did moments ago. And that's fantastic. And she just loves being everywhere with you. She says, I really do, Mom. I really do. I'm with you all the time. And she makes me feel like you do little projects. Like I feel like you don't take on huge projects. You do little things. Like she likes to see the little things because you're big about completing the projects. Do you understand that about yourself?
Yeah.
I
just complete. Oh, well, that's the only thing. If I don't do big ones, I will never get them done.
Yeah.
But I just did a beautiful fall thing with a candle and brought in from nature. I brought in rocks and pine cones
Awesome.
and flowers from my
Awesome.
garden. And
Yeah.
I just finished.
Yeah, it's the little projects that you complete. And she also brings me to what I feel is the sound of wind chimes. It's one of two things she shows me. I feel like there's sound around you that's very almost feels like yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm hearing the wind chimes. I feel like I'm hearing some type of natural sound like that with the wind. You understand having those chimes or that sound around your home. That's awesome. And she says she actually makes me feel that the doorbell that you've had has been unique in the past. Like it almost feels like there was a chime with that or something that was in the past. And again, just fond memories of being around. And I almost feel like I'm hearing like the Ring doorbell. I don't have a Ring doorbell living in London. It's not as common here, but it's almost like that sound. So you would understand that in the
If we could change it to cathedral bells or whatever, and it drove her dad absolutely nuts. Every once in a while, he'd get frustrated. He didn't like the wind chimes either, so now the ones I have are a little more subdued. But yeah, he would tape it over, and that would be our like, okay, it's time to change it to a different tune.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And she also talks to me a bit. She says, Mom, I want you to know, I'm trying to help you sleep better. And she makes me feel that your sleep has been a bit off lately. You would understand that the sleep has not been so sound. And she gives me the feeling that she wants you to take a look at the color in your room. And it feels like there's an opportunity to switch out the color or make the color more soothing is where she takes me. So it doesn't feel like it's anything else functional the way that she shows, but she just says, you've got to share this with my mom to let her know that I know and I see what's going on, and I'm trying to help her, direct her. And it feels more like she's pushing you in the direction of perhaps changing out the top bedding.
Actually, I just picked that. They just delivered my new duvet cover, and it's in light turquoise.
There we go. Amazing. So here's that sense of time. That is so fantastic. And so you just got it. So know that she will be there helping you put it on the bed, and that will definitely help you sleep better. There's something with the coloring that you vibrate really well with these softer colors. So that is amazing. So on par with her timing. That's incredible. I love that. And she says, I'm just so strong, Mom. I'm so strong. And when she says she's strong and she talks about this strength, there's this mental clarity, this mental focus. Like you would also remember the puzzles that she used to do growing up. And it feels more, not necessarily just puzzle pieces. It feels more like I don't want to say it was Sudoku, but more like word tangles or something that she would have enjoyed as she was growing up. And there's something about that she still loves to do. And it feels very much that it's with somebody else in the family that does those, not necessarily you, but it might be dad or a brother. There's somebody that she shows me that feels more male oriented. You would understand possibly this connection.
It was your uncle.
Wonderful. Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Is there anything about a boat? Out of curiosity.
I'm seeing a beautiful lake. It doesn't feel like an ocean to me. And I see a boat on the lake right now. And it feels like a nice boat. It feels bigger. It doesn't feel like a tiny rinky dinky boat. And it feels like maybe there's been some questioning about the name of the boat or wanting to change something on the outside of the boat. So you understand that?
We just used some of the money she left us to buy us a pontoon boat with beautiful loungers on the back, which she would have loved. And we were trying to, I asked a few people, what should we call it? Because she loved daisies, and it's like, should we call it Daisy May or Daisy Girl or something?
Love it.
Should we put the Flying Daisy? I don't know.
I love it. That's great. And this is a great example where sometimes an impromptu question can work with our loved ones in spirit, but it doesn't always. But that's great. She did a great job bringing me right to that moment in my journey into the lake and the boat. And so know that she's absolutely around you guys as you relax and enjoy that. And take the puzzles. She says, take the word tangles, take the puzzles with you on the boat to keep your mind going. She's big on that. So wonderful. I'm going to hand her heart back to you. She is just filled with love, and she had some beautiful validations today. So thank you so much for working with me.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Just give me a second. I'll take a quick drink.
And again, while Britta's drinking, please remember to send me validation stories to elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org if you get a validation. And then with a favorite picture of your child as well. And it's always so nice to have those in the newsletter. Sorry, Britta, go ahead.
No, it's fine. No, that's absolutely great. And it's so welcoming for the other parents to read the stories too. So that's great. It's the love that has the ripple effects and continues to flow out. So I have another woman with me right now, and I would know that she has a sister, and I would know that the sister is still here in the physical, and I would know that they had a great relationship. And I just feel like at times they were two peas in a pod, and there was just such a heartbreak with her passing. And she was just so full of life, and really the two of them almost feel so close together in age to me. I'm not quite sure if that's exact or not, or if it's what she's just making me feel because they were just doing so much together. I also feel very much that mom is so open to the signs, as the sister is open to the signs and becoming more open to the signs too. And I'm really drawn to a hummingbird. I feel very much that hummingbirds would be something that has been seen recently and very much signifies this young woman. I'm going to stop there for a moment with the sister remark and see if anybody can understand the hummingbirds and the sister.
There are several who are saying that they identify with this.
She gives me this feeling, and with her personality, I almost want to say she could have been a cheerleader, or she would have been someone who was so suave with her dancing from a cheer type standpoint. And again, it's just this bubbly nature for her. I almost feel like she would have been someone that maybe would have gone to school or lived in the South. Just the feeling she gives me with just the camaraderie, the alumni-ness, that kind of feeling that I'm gathering when they would be at events together. And again, just such a sparkle. And it feels like it was a community impact with her passing, as she again had this ripple effect, as I was speaking a few moments ago. And so I'll stop there for a moment and see.
Well, we have Lisa Miller, who has her Amy, who has two sisters who are all close, and the hummingbird fits with her, as well as, let's see, Project Diversity has a lot of different things that Project Diversity Medicine. Her daughter was piggybacking before with the turtles and the roller skates and loved dances, but then she also says that That's me when you were talking about this one. She said they have hummingbirds.
Lisa Miller also has a hummingbird tattoo.
So
As
would any of the moms understand that recently you would have seen a spider? It would have just been like, whoa, just saw a spider. Like it feels like an unexpected spider around the house or somewhere.
So Project Diversify is saying she saw a spider. Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
okay. Oh, and then Lisa's saying, and over 300 people came to her right now.
She said she just now saw a spider.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So let me see where else she takes me between those two moms with the spider. I feel like you would also know with your daughter, she was someone who really looked out into the distance. Like I feel like I don't want to necessarily call it a worry, but I feel that she almost really wanted to plan and she liked to kind of have things planned way out. What was life going to be like? There was this planning piece to her throughout her life way out. You would understand that.
Oh gosh, we have so many people here,
Oh
Britta,
goodness.
taking
Okay. All right.
everything.
Okay. So I really feel like I'm drawn with the two women with the spider, and I feel one of them would know her daughter looking out planning. I also feel like one of you might have binoculars or something that you might actually look at things with, the way that she's showing me, or a telescope. There's something that she shows me that you have around the house or that you look out onto. Can both of those women understand that, or one of them? Project Diversity.
let's see. She's talking about binoculars, Project Diversity, and then
Excellent. So let's bring
Ashley.
Project Diversity up. Thank
Okay.
you.
Her name is Ashley, Project Diversity.
Ashley. Thanks, Ashley.
Okay.
so
And if you understand this as well, please continue to listen and know that our children are together.
okay.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much for working with me. I feel so strongly you would understand the spider, and it just was the recent event, and you understand the binoculars, and that's great. You talked about the bird watching because she also liked to look out. She didn't show me necessarily the bird watching, but it was more like the planning aspect of her. Like you would just know she was just someone who really had everything planned out and had I literally want to say an amazing manifester was your daughter in that sense. Like you would just know that she had those visions, and she would have them even earlier in life before manifestation kind of became this buzzword. You can take that, correct?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And she talks to me a lot about she likes to go inside the home. She likes to go inside the home with you. And I just feel such a calm, relaxed space. I feel like there's a lot of light coloring around your home. Like I feel like there's a lot of whites. It just feels like very crisp and calm and cool. And you would understand that, correct?
Yeah, I made a comfy, cozy space for her with white flowers, and we called it comfy, cozy area for her school. She was homeschooled. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you would still have that space or something like that because she's showing me just how relaxed you are in your own home and what feels like it's a space similar to that. And she's just with you. She says, Mom, I'm with you. I'm with you. And she's funny. She brings me to just your routines of breakfast. Like I feel like sometimes she's showing me like sometimes you eat breakfast, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you kind of pick it. It feels almost like granola or muesli or something. You would understand.
Well, yeah, she was very, breakfast was a thing for us. So sometimes she would, I don't eat breakfast a lot. She's always on me about that. But she was very particular about her cereals every day. And I would sometimes skip. So yes, that was us.
Yeah. But I see her with you looking at breakfast though. So there must be something like that where you might pick
Big
at
thing.
it.
Big thing. Cereals was her
Yeah.
thing. It could be a granola or a cereal or something like that. It was like a big thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. She also takes me to the front of the house, and I feel like there would have been some recent trimming. It almost feels like ground trimming, like grass, like lining or trimming, and it just looks so nice. You understand that?
I just landscaped my whole yard 2 days ago.
Awesome.
I
She's there.
weed whacked everything and put flowers up and everything, and I made a white patio space for us as well. So I moved our white stuff outside on our patio, and
There's the white again. She loves loves being around you in your home. It's so inviting to her. It's so relaxing, and she knows it's relaxing for you. And she just loves that you just create this space for yourself. And know that it's just so special to her too. So very, very special. And so when she takes me with back to what feels like the binoculars of you looking through, and I understand you said it was the bird watching. I feel like there's a multitude of birds. Like I feel like you sometimes see birds with blue. I'm actually getting some yellow. I feel like there's something unique with some yellow.
Yeah, we get goldfinches, blue jays, cardinals. We get like 100 birds a day since she's died. It was not a thing before. We just had cardinals, but now we get every color of the rainbow. We got green hummingbirds. We got 4 green hummingbirds. We got yellow goldfinches, blue jays, everything. So that's wow.
Amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. And so again, know that she helps bring the birds close to you and the energy. But I'm definitely drawn to something unique with the birds that have the yellow on it. And I just feel that you might even see that ramped up in the next couple days, more of this type of bird coming close to you. And there's something unique about it, or it's not one you see often.
Okay, that's awesome. I just found one new one today, so that could be what's happening.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And she says, Mom, I want to see you out more. I want to see you out more. And when she says the out more, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's running errands. She actually makes me feel like it's like exercising, or it's like, it's more so than just walking. It's like, it feels like it's a thought for you, but you're not actually doing it, is what she shows me. And she says, I'd be there with you, motivating you. And she would just be tagging along, is that feeling that she says. So,
I said that this morning. I said I need to get up there. I said that this morning, literally with my husband. Like, I need to be like that girl. Like, I need to go.
Well, if you decide,
oh my God, she sees me.
She does. She sees you. She walks alongside you. And this is what I love so much. Sometimes I call myself the random medium, because so much information the kids talk about from just day to day to just show you they are truly walking alongside you. It's really, really beautiful.
I'm blown. Like I said, I just landscaped. I did all the weed whacking, like literally just 2 days ago. Like, wow.
Yeah, she showed me. I mean, I saw the nice clean lines that she was bringing me to. It was beautiful. Absolutely.
I was really trying.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And she says, don't forget the mailbox. Don't forget the mailbox. So it feels like that's a project that you're thinking of doing, or it hasn't happened yet.
It's actually tilting. It was leaning. I just discovered that yesterday, and it's tilting. I say, is it tilting? And it is. I gotta fix it.
Wow. So yeah, so you've got the mailbox as an opportunity to tilt back or fix or put a new one in.
Yeah. Don't
forget
it.
Yeah. That's funny. She's so funny. She wants to take me on a trip with you. I feel very much that this is coming. I feel like in the next couple weeks, there's even more talk about this trip coming, but it doesn't necessarily feel like the trip is in the next week. It feels like there's talk about this trip that's coming up, or it's a new idea that you're getting about this trip. But there is something in the works. It feels, it almost feels like it's a place like Vegas or something to me. It feels like someplace fun.
Yeah, I was supposed to be giving a conference. She had EDS, and I'm supposed to be speaking in the Halloween in October, and I wasn't sure about going to the trip. I was like, should I do a virtual? Should I go in person in October? I wasn't sure. And I haven't traveled a lot, since her passing. I just kind of been at home.
Well, you always have the free will, but know that as she brings this, they can see things that our soul needs. And so she just gave me this feeling that the trip is going to happen, and there's going to be more discussion coming up in the next week or two about it. And so just keep your heart open and welcome the signs with her, and know that she'll be with you on that trip very much. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She loves you very much. She's all around. And with that, I want to hand her heart back to you. And she says, oh, the sun. Hold on, one more thing. She's just so cheery with you. And the sun is just so significant. And she knows how important the natural light is for you and the sun. So you understand.
Yes, I do. I watch sunsets, and that was our song. She had a different sunshine song with everyone in the house. So her dad had a little rap song about sunshine. I had a little song, You're My Sunshine. And her nana had a song about sunshine, and we always watch the sunrise. And she say, hello, sun, good night, moon, every day. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What a beautiful daughter. I'm going to hand her heart back to you. So know that she's all around. There's a lot of love.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So thank you for helping me sort through all the connections. I know so many kids can piggyback at times, and it's hard to sort through, where it's being placed. But that was wonderful. That was a beautiful, beautiful sharing of love. So as I step forward, I have another gentleman showing himself to me. I feel like his hair is a bit darker. Almost shaggy. I want to say it's like you can put your hands through it. He's showing me, and he I'm trying to see where he's taking me with this. He liked the outdoors, liked to give bear hugs. I feel like there was a lot of like more so like muscle or build on him is the feeling that he gives me. I feel that he was very well known in the community, and his passing was very much felt with the community. And it actually feels like, I don't feel like this is necessarily his home, but he shows me what feels like camping, because I'm brought to a stump of a tree with wood on it, like you're going to like cut it with an axe. So I feel like he would have memories of this. I'm feeling like it would be tied to camping or camping with the grandparents at one point, but I don't necessarily feel like it's around your home. So I'm going to stop there because I feel like the wood with the axe is very particular. Can anybody take this?
Not yet. We
I
don't have anybody.
seen him in a hoodie. I just know, I know that there would have been something with woodworking, wood chopping, would have been a memory, a fond memory of him having outside. I also am brought to an older truck. It feels like to me, I almost want to say like a Chevy or something that I'm seeing an older truck. Doesn't feel like it's his, but it feels like it's on the property or at the grandparents or something like that. So if I take the grandparents out, I'm going to see if anybody can take that.
Yes, we now have Pamela, who is saying it sounds like her Eric camped with his girlfriend, and Gertie is saying mine, I think hoodie, yes, camping, yes, yes, older truck, his dad's truck. Let's see.
And Gertie, do you understand can Gertie understand the wood, the chopping of the wood or with the axe?
Let's see if Gertie can answer. Yes, we have a fireplace, she says. So it sounds like we must have.
And I also feel, Gertie, you would understand something with your eyes recently, like the thought was there to get the eyes checked or get some new glasses, or there's something around mom's eyes that he's trying to show me.
I don't know. We have a lot of other people. Oh, she needs glasses, she says. Okay.
We have several people chiming in here right now.
Okay.
But Gertie does need glasses, she said. So,
and would anybody understand this truck color feels like could be potentially a reddish orange or something orangey? I usually don't see color, but they're really drawing me to that with the older truck. Like it feels like a reddish orange, maybe a brown mixed with it.
So Gertie is saying yes for the truck color, I guess.
Yeah.
So it sounds, I mean, I know that there are a lot of people. No, his truck.
No, Gertie said yellow.
Oh, yellow. Oh, yellow. That's what she was trying to say. And rusty. I see. She said, yeah.
She's also making me feel that there's owls around, the sound of owls around mom's home. Mom would know that she hears owls.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's saying
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so let's bring Gertie up. I feel like I'm with her, and maybe as I don't see color very often.
Okay.
So Gertie, can you
Got it.
Hi.
Hi, Gertie. Thanks for working with me. So, so you understand more recently hearing the sound of owls and owls being significant, very much your son brings me to, and I just get this warm, fuzzy feeling about him. I feel like he liked the outdoors, that this camping type feeling, being in the woods, and his passing was just a ripple effect around the community, and people would just, still very much have a supportive space within your community. You understand that, right, Gertie?
That part I'm not sure of. The community, I know it.
Yeah.
There was a ripple effect, of course.
Okay. He makes me feel like there's people in the community that you still see that would have known him, talk about him like you would, they're talking to you about him and the memories, and that's the space that he takes me to with that. It doesn't feel like you've left that community. That's where he's taken me, like you're still in space. You
Yeah.
understand. Wonderful. Okay. And you would also know that he really loved dogs. He really loved dogs. He was a big animal lover, and lizards. He's showing me lizards. He's like putting up a lizard in his hand. So do you understand the lizard piece? I'm literally seeing like what feels like a lizard in my hand right now. Not sure.
I'm trying to remember the
Okay.
lizard. I
Okay.
can't remember if he had one.
Okay, that's okay. He's put no, this doesn't feel like a pet. This feels more like in nature, like he would have just
Okay, yeah.
he wouldn't have had any issue. That's the feeling that he gives me with that. And he says, Mom, he says, he really is around so many animals in the afterlife. He shows me that there's really a great joy that he gathers, and he literally showed me everything from like a cow to dogs. And it's the learning. It's something with the learning with the animals. Like I almost feel like there's a veterinarian side to him that maybe wasn't so much shown in the physical form that he's showing me in the afterlife, that he very much enjoys learning about. Would you be able to understand that at all or see that in your son?
Oh, I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a dog, and he worked with cows, and
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. Awesome. So that's why he's still very much doing that. Then I love it when they show me things in the afterlife and you can understand and validate. And so, like I said, it's like he walks alongside these vets and vet sciences and helping out the animals of all different species. So that's really great. And he says, Mom, he brings me to water around you. Like I almost feel like there might be a small pond or something that feels like a water source, but I don't feel like it's a fountain. Would you understand having a pond in the neighborhood or around you, a smaller boat of water?
I have a small creek in the back.
Okay. And it feels like there's birds that frequent the creek, though, like that actually would sit at times in the water on the creek. Do you understand?
Yes, because on the neighbor's part, there is a little pond now that and ducks are in there.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm drawn to even white ducks. So I feel like you would see some type of white bird is what he brought me to. And so I think it's more the pond of the neighbor than it is the creek that he was trying to draw me to. But he's just such an outdoors person, just the feeling of it. And I just feel such a strong connection with the two of you when you sit outside. And he says, sit outside more, Mom, sit outside. And I just see you on like a back patio, just kind of soaking it in. And it feels like you get nice shade in the afternoon on your back patio. You would understand.
Yes.
Yeah, he's with you in those moments. So he says, take more time out there, Mom. Take your books out there, take your reading material out there, and know that I'm with you. I'm really, really with you. And you could also take the glasses, which is probably why he was bringing that up. So yeah, I know it's a thought because I knew that you had been thinking about it, but it hadn't happened yet. So you understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And he says, Mom, I want you to take out more pictures of me. And it feels like almost like old photo albums or you know what it actually is I feel like you've got boxes of loose pictures like that aren't necessarily in the albums. You would understand this, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he wants you to take them out and just go through them and reminisce. And you know what's so awesome that he shows is as you're looking through those photos, he's getting to feel into your vibration and he gets to reminisce with you and see how you remember the memories and look to it. And it's very exciting for him. So think about taking one of those boxes down of all the pictures and just going through them. And it feels very cathartic. He says, my mom's soul needs this, and she knows what I'm talking about because it hasn't been done in a while. You understand? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's such a deep soul, you know, like you would just know your son was an old soul, a deep soul. There's just this feeling he gives me of just being very well connected on a soul level. And he says, Mom, we have the connection. I know you feel it. I walk with you and I just love it. I love it so much. And it feels like there's a motorbike, perhaps, that's been a bit annoying recently going up and down the street, or you're hearing some type of motorbike that's louder than normal. Would you understand this motorbike?
It's not a motorbike, it's a pickup.
It's a pickup, but it's loud. You understand okay, he's bringing you to the, yeah. And it doesn't feel like it's yours though. It's somebody in the neighborhood.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Neighbors.
Okay. Yeah, but it's loud though, and it just feels like it almost can kind of drive you bonkers at times. And he literally says, "Mom, just send out the energy to have the." It's almost like have the noise stop, and I'm not sure what'll take place with that, if they end up selling the pickup or what. But there's something that's going to change if you just start to send that energy out to ask for it to get fixed. As he likes to say, he works on it too. Like he works on it to help you out. And he also shows me, more of a smaller boat, like a smaller fishing boat I'm brought to, very basic, that I feel that you might have had I do know it had a small motor on the back, but you could also take some paddles to help it. You would understand the smaller boat when he was younger. It just feels like metal sides, like 2 or 3 slats in it to sit. It just feels like a smaller fishing boat.
He might have with his father, but not
Okay.
with me.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I'll let that parking lot and know that that's what he's taking me to. But there's just fond memories in that is where he was taking me. So maybe that was something that he did with Dad. And he brings me to some type of cookie. It almost feels like a granola or an oat. Actually, I'm drawn to an oatmeal cookie, oatmeal with raisins. Ball cookie. I'm seeing it in a ball. Would you have like made these, or do you understand? Like I keep seeing it in the ball, so I don't know if it's a protein ball or if it actually spreads out to a cookie, because he keeps bringing me to the ball of it.
Spreads out to a cookie, but it's with butterscotch. My neighbor made me some, and then I made some because I've never had oatmeal with butterscotch.
Super.
Way better than raisins, just saying.
Awesome. So know that he's around, and I love that he kept showing me the ball of it, because I'm like, what am I looking at with the oatmeal and stuff? So that's fantastic. I've never had a butterscotch oatmeal cookie, but it does sound really
good.
That's great. That's great. But he's just filled with love. There's so much love. He's very, very present, absolutely around you. And he says, Mom, he says, I want you to go through the garage. I want you to go through the garage. And it feels like the garage is like a big project, or big opportunity, I guess would be the right word. You would understand that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And it feels like there might even be like some feathers in the garage. Like I'm not saying that there's an animal carcass in the garage, but he's bringing me to some feathers or something that he keeps showing me that might have been part of his collection as a young child, or something that when you go through the garage, you're just going to find some feathers that he shows me. So I just feel that that's a fond memory of his. And he says there's lots of trinkets and treasures, and he was not one to be the most organized himself. You would know that, right? Like he wouldn't always put things back, is what he's saying in the nicest of ways. He would have things kind of bits and pieces. You could know that your son had come home and he'd leave a trail of stuff. That's what he takes me to. You understand. And so just such a joy, absolute joy. I'm going to hand his heart back to you. So thank you for working with me, Gertie. He's absolutely all around you.
Thank you.
This is wonderful. Goodness gracious. And oh my goodness, we have 6 more minutes. Did you want to just have a general message for everybody who's here with their own kids, letting them know that they were all here as well? Or just do another reading, but why don't we?
No, that's absolutely. You know, the biggest thing, if there's anything you take away from today, is knowing that your children walk alongside you, and that there's just no sense of time for them. Absolutely no sense of time for them in the afterlife. They just feel love. And as I had mentioned earlier, some of the best, most amazing validations can sometimes happen even after a session, where you can't place that piece of information in that moment. And then a day or two later, it comes through. I just had a mother a couple months ago who has given me permission to share her story. And she was a son had recently passed. She had never had a mediumship reading. This was one-on-one. And the son kept telling me that he was sending her energy. He was sending her tingles, like right here in her cheek space, you know, down the jawline. And she's like, no, I can't take that. And I said, he's telling me it's coming, just trust. And I don't think it was even 2 days later. And my goodness, she sends me an email and she says, the next night, she says, I woke up in the middle of the night and I could just feel it. And she says, is this really him? And she says, my mind is just blown if this is really him. And she just sent me an email now 4 months later. And she says, I have to tell you, it was so life-changing. I feel this all the time. And I know it's my son. I know he's with me. And I just love those stories, because it's not even just that email a couple days later. It's when you get the follow-up email 4 months later and they say it's still there. And she's just developed the most amazing relationship with her son, in knowing that he's all around. And so if you're still at this point of searching and wondering if that's your sign or not, don't even question it. Just take it. Any feeling that you get, don't sort through where it's coming from. Just trust and know that it's your child. And they absolutely love to feel your energy when you recognize that. So all of your excitement just becomes the snowball effect for them. And they can truly feel into that. It's the other vibration they show me, in addition to the love that they sit in all the time, that they really feel that. So just get overexcited of any little sign that you get from them, and you're going to see that snowball.
Well,
So,
and Susan is here actually. She's saying that was me.
yes, it is Susan. Yeah, you can bring her up.
It's nice to have her on here, and we're excited about the fact. I think that it's important for everyone to understand that what you hear on these meetings might not yet have happened. It might be to come, but also, even more importantly, there's so much piggybacking that goes on in the chat box, people saying that this is their son or their daughter, because all of the things that you're saying are exactly the same as theirs as well. So please take it as your son or your daughter coming through. And in fact, I have had validation stories for the newsletter from parents who write about their children coming through when we haven't even called on them, and sending me pictures as well, but everything fits. So please feel free to do that as well. And we will make sure to put all of your information in the YouTube video so that we have more information. Do you have any special events coming up anytime soon, Britta, that you would like to let people know about?
Yeah, great question. I'm working on moving into teaching at a very basic level. And so I'm hoping to start some classes in November. So if you take a look at my website, you'll see just some soul beginning classes that I've had some moms testing it for me in the last couple of weeks, and they've really enjoyed it. So it's been a nice space, not necessarily focusing just on the connection, but I feel there's always an opportunity to start at the basics to really make sure you understand the difference of intuition and psychic as you continue to move forward in your own connections with your loved ones. So
that's wonderful. And we always ask people to unmute themselves and say thank you and good night for
Thank you, Britta.
Thank you,
Thank
Britta.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
Thank you, Britta.
Thank you,
Thank
Britta.
you.
You're
Thank
amazing.
you.
today. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you,
Thank
Lisa,
you.
too. Bye, everybody.